What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I am here with my usual warning, a day or two later than planned because I was casting the Pokemon Regional Championships in Stuttgart this weekend. I was a busy boy. Stop buying OP-05 singles. And here's the thing, right? I always have to tell you to stop buying singles because, frankly, people are always overpaying for singles. But even more so than normal, I need to warn you guys to stop buying singles. The set came out on Friday. The set is now out. The problem with OP-05, and it's not really a problem, it's a great thing with OP-05. There are a bunch of proper chase cards. I'm talking about cards which are chase cards even amongst the chase cards that we normally see in sets. Redonkulous cards. Exciting cards. Don't buy them now. Now, going along with that, I've also got my other usual warning. I am not your dad, unless you're Daisy Archer Room, and in which case the fact you're watching this is weird. If you want to go and buy these now, that's absolutely fine. If you want to grade them early to resell them, if you want to just have them early, if you know you're paying too much but you don't care because you can afford it, absolutely fine. This is friendly advice on your old pal Wassy. It is nothing more than that. But we do have some cards we need to look at here. Remember, there are 3 manga rares in OP-05. We've got Luffy, Kid, and Law. And, of course, the fact that Luffy is one is a very big deal. Then we got the signed Oda card. Then we've got stuff like the special rare Nami, for instance. And now that it's been confirmed that it is being unbanned, that makes it way more interesting. Remember, for a while, we were like, well, it's going to be banned. Well, it was banned, and it wasn't announced that it was being unbanned, so we were like, well, what's the point? It's garbage. Okay, garbage is very harsh. But the point is, it's a card which is beautiful but can't be played in decks. But now it can be played in decks. And what we're seeing right now is people just spending way, way too much for this. And this is a bit of a problem. So we need to have a chat about this. You see, Luffy at the moment, if we take a little bit of a cross-section on eBay, Manga Luffy, here's 3 in a row, which even out to a nice even $2,200. $2,200. There's a $2,100, a $2,300, and a $2,200. So they're evening out, as it stands at the moment, at $2,200. All right? That's got to be way too much. That's got to be way too much. It's a card that can be pulled from packs. For what it's worth, yes, people are paying this. Here's 2 in a row, one that sold for $2,200, one that sold for $2,000. So we're not talking about, well, come on, Wassy, it's eBay. People can list it for whatever they want. No. That is not what we're talking about here. This is actually what it's selling for. And the thing is, like, don't get me wrong, this is going to be the most expensive manga rare. It's Luffy, it's Gear 5 Luffy, we're all excited. I am not here to tell you this is going to be a cheap card. I am not here to tell you that this is going to be a card you're picking up for like £5. No. Not even a little bit. What I am telling you is that this is a card which is going to fall in price quite dramatically. I mean, the biggest manga card we've got right now is Manga Shanks, which after a huge dip has finally built back up to $1,000. After a gigantic dip down to below 700, it's just about built up to about $1,000. But you'll notice it's taken a lot of time. What else can we say about Manga Shanks? Came from Romance Dawn. And one thing you might notice is that Romance Dawn is a set which is very, very hard to get hold of. It's basically, it was for a while doing the rounds. It does seem to be, unfortunately, kind of on the way out now. People are finding it increasingly difficult to buy packs of Romance Dawn. And because it's getting difficult to find, now the price is going back up again. But you'll notice that while the set was available, and it was being reprinted and being made available quite regularly, I know not everywhere, but I saw it a bunch. I think I bought 3 boxes in the end at retail, and I had a chance to buy a couple more. But while it was available, it was dropping, and it was when the set stopped being readily available, it started creeping up. And that's kind of my point here. OP-05 has just come out, and I know it's selling out in some places. It's probably the best set we've had so far. But we know there's more prints coming. We know that OP-05 is going to be reprinted over and over again. So this is a terrible time to buy. Now, you might be thinking, well, all right, Wassy, come on. That's Manga Luffy. Of course, people are going to be overpaying for Manga Luffy. Nah. They're overpaying for Mangalore as well. Mangalore is also way too expensive. If we look at just the last couple of solds, what people are actually paying for it, I mean, it's a bit all over the place, and there are some cheaper ones, but here's one that sold for $1,000 and one that sold for $750. $750 for a non-Luffy manga rare. Bearing in mind, I just showed you that Manga Shanks only got above that when OP-01, the most sought-after set, stopped being printed. This is absurd. Absolutely absurd. If we take some of the other manga rares, Porcus D Ace manga rare is actually now creeping up to, again, around about $1,000. But come on, I just showed my working. Can anybody tell me what's happening? OP-02 is the other set, which is becoming very hard to find. It is not as readily available as it was in the past. And you might notice that once again, we've got ourselves a graph that shows, oh, yeah, no, it took a massive dip. And then as the set started becoming less available, it started going up again. For what it's worth, there have actually been a couple recent solds on TCG Player for like $900 or less. So it's creeping up pretty slowly. But if we look at some of the others, let's take Sabo, who is, of course, the most recent manga rare that wasn't OP-05. What do we see from Sabo? Yes, there's a sub $500 card. Not even a $500 card. So in what world do we actually think that the other manga rares from the set are all of a sudden going to be super duper expensive compared to the others? Now, I know Luffy is special, and I know Luffy is going to be higher, and I have just admitted that. But the others should be down around about where Sabo is at the moment. Sabo is a popular character and a playable card. That is a good comparison for the other manga rares. And I know that Luffy is special, but does anyone actually think Luffy is going to be more than double Manga Ace after Romance Dawn became super difficult to find? I mean, maybe, but come on. I'm not buying that for a second. And we've got a similar thing going on here with signed Luffy. Now, it's kind of annoying actually trying to find this one because there's a lot of Japanese listings over on eBay, and if you want the Japanese one, that's absolutely fine. But do bear in mind we need to go for English listings. And this one, it's kind of all over the place in terms of listings. There's lots of Japanese, lots of people are putting it up for auction, which I think is understandable. So if we have a look here, you know, we've got one that's got a couple of bids on at 1,400, one that's bid at 1,800, and one that's buy it now at 2,000. That's roughly the kind of thing we're looking for here. It is not perfect, but again, like I say, this is the best I can show you right now. But if we have a look at some sold listings, we do have some English sold listings. And now there's a Japanese one that sold for 1,200. But then the English ones are selling around about 1,900. That's about what we've got here. This is currently selling for 1,900. Well, I just showed you the Japanese one is selling for 1,200. And I know Japanese cards do tend to be a little bit cheaper. But honestly, 1,800? Like, as this set keeps getting reprinted for a while, because all new sets do, and more of these get pulled, does anyone honestly think this is going to stick at 1,800? Now, if we go back to Shanks for a second, look at the Shanks graph, this could well happen with signed Luffy and Manga Luffy. Down, 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 down. Hey, the set's hard to get now. Up, 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 up. These are very sought after cards. I am not for a second suggesting that this is going to be a super cheap card forever. That is not what I'm saying in this video. What I am saying in this video is don't buy them immediately when the fear of missing out is as high as it's ever going to be and everybody's going a little bit silly. Don't do that. Wait for the price to settle a bit before you go buying these ridiculously expensive cards. Now, Nami is an interesting one to me. Nami's got me a little bit confused. Because the last couple of sales are 110 and 140. I will say the 110 went up as a buy it now and was clearly slightly underpriced. But the 140 was bid up. So it's going to be nearer to 140 than 110, let's be clear. But that's actually a bit less than I was expecting. I mean, as an example, I opened a box of OP-05 the other day. And one of the hits I got, it was a very good box of OP-04, sorry. One of the good hits I got from my box of OP-04 was the special rare Boa Hancock. And to be fair, this is about a $100 card. It's a special rare, and it's a playable popular character, don't get me wrong, but so is Nami. And I know we've had a bunch of other prints of Nami, which might hurt the price a little bit as well. But I do want to just point out, while we're here, this does seem, the Nami at least, slightly more reasonable. I mean, in a world where OP-04 is readily available and the special rare Boa Hancock is sitting at like a $100 card, maybe Nami could go up a little bit as well. What I will say is, shortly after release, it was a $65 card and it's going up at the moment. So even though Boa Hancock is settling at a more expensive card, I do just need to point out it went down and then started going up. So even though Nami could absolutely settle higher than Boa Hancock, and it really should, it's Nami, it should still go down after release. The set came out a couple of days ago. In a couple of days, I'm going to be coming out and showing you my prices are crashing video, and I don't even need to look first. I know that's going to happen. The prices are going to crash. I'm going to prove it to you in a couple of days. Right now is a bad time to buy these cards. Unless you really want to. In which case, go for it. That's cool. I cannot tell you what to do. All I can do is give you nice, friendly advice. Right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me which cards from OP-05 you want to pull. Tell me which cards you have pulled. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.